welcome on in. If you are new, my name is Lexi. I brought the mics today. That is all on me. All of that is to say, welcome in. You may be wondering, why are you over here, Lexi? Well, today we are going from east to west, and we are going to try to be hitting up as many skyscrapers as possible, talking about some like interesting stories, some like fun facts, and like just a little bit of architecture as we do so. The point is to try to hit as many interesting skyscrapers as possible. Fun fact, I have learned that a skyscraper is only 10 stories, which to me is like that's pretty short, right? So we're gonna only try to see the biggest or the most interesting skyscrapers, because like technically this guy is a skyscraper, but like he's kind of boring, so we're not really going to talk about him. However, as we go, if you have skyscrapers that you think are really interesting, that you want to talk about, that you want to tell me about, please let me know. Yes, I've never been to the skyscraper museum. I didn't know that was a thing. He ugly and short. He's not even a short king, he's just short. Oh my gosh, you've been here for 270 streams. What the heck? Also, if you are watching from wherever you are watching, please make sure you say hi. It's how we get to know you. Melby, Babylon, Cat Babble, Taxi, Dwip, Diane Light, DeRay, Wins for Wiz. We're gonna get walking. And we're gonna try to see a bunch of different skyscrapers. As we go, if you have specific ones you want us to stop by, we can. It was suggested that we stop at the Bloomberg building. That's there. It's like from the early 2000s. Also kind of boring. But supposedly it's like really nice to like think about and look at, because you know, the 2000s were a thing and we have to recognize that, even in architecture. Hi, Mason, hello. Oh my God, is the cat here? We're gonna take a little pit stop in case the cat is here. Where's the baby? Hi. Is the baby around, the little cat?
She's at the back.
Okay, no worries. I just wanted to say hi. Thank you. She usually sits like right in the window, and I love her so much. I don't know if there's a Bodega Cat app. However, there is a map. There is a map where people have mapped out Bodega Cats. I don't know if it's on Reddit, but there is like, literally people will go in and like show all the names of Bodega Cats. There's also a creator who goes in and rates like the bodega based on their cat and does cat bodega interviews. I don't remember her name, but there's like probably 5 or 6 of them. Okay, we're going through. I'm sorry, I'm not waiting for you. Nope. As we go past, this is what's called Billionaire's Row. You see that monstrosity of a building? There. Yeah, you can see it. It's that big tall one. We actually should have stayed across the street, but we will go from here. Hatch Review, welcome on in. Thank you for using Prime. Twitch Prime is free to you, but it helps out your creators because they get the same amount of money. So thank you so much for doing that. Also, if you're on YouTube, please subscribe. We're hoping that at some point we hit about 10,000 followers. And then that way you get to see us again. Yeah, and if you are on YouTube, please say hi. We are able to see your chat, but there aren't as many of you, so we may not be able to say as many things to you. So we have 2 stops as we go. We have the super tall, which is going to be on 57th Street. We have the Lipstick Building, which I believe is on 53rd. And there's a building on Park. I don't remember what it's called. However, I know what it looks like, and we're going to stop there as well. Yes, that DeRay. I also want to make sure that we stop. Oh, I don't remember the name of it, but I'm not gonna remember any of the names until we're right in front of it. This is the new standard, everyone. There's a new building popping up on Grand Central. It's actually like beautifully designed. So we're gonna stop there. We had to make a stop in Hell's Kitchen where a massive super tall is being built. And we'll kind of like talk a little bit about like why skyscrapers are now able to go higher and higher and higher. There's a building, it's very 80s. It has a lot of red granite. That's what's called the Lipstick Building. And it's very, very 80s. Bernie Madoff was like a huge part of that building's history. So we'll talk a little bit about that. I don't have a whole lot about Bernie. I know probably more of you know than I do. It was before my time. And yes, Royas, thank you for 365 consecutive streams. It is wild to me that even with our schedules, you're able to like check in, say hi. It means a lot to us. Hello, Rick. Okay, so we are gonna try to peek around here to kind of take a look at that super tall. Okay, so right here, past the other building, do you see that super tall? It's super skinny. Building is it's really ugly. It is also like considered like not great for the light in Central Park. The lack of light is actually really hurting Central Park's vegetation. It's something to always keep in mind with super talls and skyscrapers in general, is that it blocks light. It's gonna take more resources to support a building like that height, and also you're gonna get downdrafts that you have to be aware of, right? Hello, welcome in from London. Hello, Babylon and Mellow. Pat and Bacon, what's up? Wait, is 432 Park the super tall? All I have to say is the super tall was originally supposedly designed off of the architect's trash can. He wanted something super sleek, super like modern and evocative, and so he went with like his trash can. It's now a big running joke because the taller a building gets, the more you need to engineer it. It becomes less and less about the aesthetic and more about, will the building fall over? Which we're gonna actually talk about another building that had a 16th of a chance of falling over. And only one person knew. Yeah, so Babylon, I don't know if we can actually go inside. I've been in the Lipstick Building a couple times. I think there's a coffee shop around the corner. It's either no, I think the coffee shop is here, but there is a fantastic lavender latte in, I think, this low building. Wow, I kind of like that building actually, with all the little like kind of honeycombs. It is devastatingly ugly and therefore is kind of cool. It's very kind of brutalist, that building there. But this coming up right here, this sort of red building with 3 tiers, this is the Lipstick Building. I think what let's do this. We're gonna go across the street, because then that way we can make sure to see it kind of in all its glory. They secretly retrofitted it in the 70s. Oh, No, so Southwest, that is, so it's not this building. This building is 909 3rd Avenue. But yes, the City Court building, which we are also gonna go kind of by, it's one of my favorites because it looks like a giant light plug to me. Don't ask me why, but it looks like a giant light plug, and so I kind of love it. So we're gonna stop there as well along the way. Essentially, here's the deal. We walk past buildings all the time in New York, and we talk briefly about them, but we never make really the buildings themselves and just a little bit of their stories, you know, the majority of our stream. We may talk about like the history of it, and like particularly the sort of 30s and the Victorian era. Those are ones that I really am drawn to, but I don't ever really talk about skyscrapers. So the point is to see as many skyscrapers as possible today that are interesting. That's the caveat, or that I find interesting. Which you may not find interesting at all, but I would love to know if I missed any of your favorites as we go. We are probably gonna miss the Flatiron because the point is to go from east to west, and that would be more north to south. We may end up trying to do the same exercise, but going from Flatiron up. If that's something you want to see and you're on YouTube and you're watching this later, please make sure to put it in the comments. We actually do read all of our comments, so I'd love to. Okay, so this building here is the Lipstick Building. Part of the reason that it's called the Lipstick Building is that it's supposed to look like a lipstick case. It's also called the Lipstick Building in part because of its reddish granite. I will say that the granite is very, very slippery, so if it rains and you are around this building, just be careful. This is also an iconic building in part because Bernie Madoff's offices used to be here. The big Ponzi scheme man. Thank you for the follow, Gary. I follow Gary. Thank you for the follow, Running Kings. Thank you for the tier 1 sub, Gary. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you for coming on in. Thank you. Yes. Oops. Also, yes, you should build buildings so they're not going to fall down. However, this particular building was engineered wrong. So there was 1/16th of a chance that it was going to fall over, but they fixed it. They fixed it. Not this one, the one that we'll talk about in a little bit. And then also, good afternoon. If you're wondering why today is Skyscraper Day, good question. An architect's birthday, who is considered like the founder or like the father of skyscrapers, it's his birthday today. So that's part of the reason it's like the unofficial one. But I know somebody wanted to go see inside. We're gonna try to pop into the lobby. But also here, I love this not only because it looks like a lipstick tube, right? But on the bottom here, the columns. So they've taken the traditional column structure and they've kind of pared it down so it's really, really smooth. To me, when I look at it, it reminds me of like makeup brushes, and that probably is just because I know it's called the Lipstick Building, but still. I just like how round it is too. What you're gonna notice is that the taller a building is, typically, but not always the case, you're gonna get these, like this structure of tiering. That is supposed to help, like with aerodynamics and all that other kind of stuff. Not all of them, like the super talls, the super skinny super talls, they don't have that. But there are reasons for people to have those little setbacks. Yeah, so the Lipstick Building was officially named 53rd at 3rd, designed by Philip Johnson and John Berge. The building's distinctive shape and color were a requirement for the property owner to make it stand out and attract high rent tenants to a less desirable neighborhood. I will say that now, like this red, nobody wanted this red color for a very long time because it became like very predominantly used in like the 80s and 90s. Now it is coming back, this red granite. Doesn't it, in the sun, like in the summertime, it gets really hot. but granite is super, super cool. I know you probably don't necessarily care, but granite is one of the materials that is really, 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 really durable. You may have heard of quartzes and quartzites. Those are even more durable than granite, but granite is going to be cheaper than quartzes and quartzites unless they're man-made. I don't usually suggest people use quartzes and quartzites unless they're natural, because the binders that are in the man-made stone can be really, really bad for the people that are making it. I kind of like this big front desk though. Isn't it cool, John? I know, it's kind of cool. It's definitely cool. Yes. Here's Allie coming in with her own quip. Allie goes, yes, definitely less desirable. West is best, east is least. Look, if you gave me an apartment though on the east side and never paid for it, I'd be living on the east side. Just saying. Yeah, aerodynamics was the wrong word, but you get what I mean.
Yeah, and he did eventually,
Oh, I actually don't remember the Men in Black offices. It does, and then they also have these, so if you look like at the surface, again, not that it really matters, but I'm gonna be in my geeky self. If you see how this, like the cobblestones, do you see how it's kind of like worn? That could have been just from people walking over it, but you can also get cobblestones and whatnot to come in this finish. Sometimes it'll be called leathered, sometimes it'll be called antiqued or honed, and sometimes it'll have all of the corners around it, and that's called tumbled. But this is probably just leathered from like all the people walking over it. And then this, do you see how shiny it is? How it reflects everything? How beautiful. Oh, look at how gorgeous. You can see the city in it. That's called polished. All right, okay. So we are going to, I believe, pop up 1 or 2 avenues, blocks. And we're gonna go see the city court building. The building that one man found out might collapse. If it hit the right amount of winds in the right direction, it could take this huge tower down. So we're gonna try to see that too. It's now fixed. There's actually a really, really interesting documentary. I think I saw it on YouTube. It may also be on Amazon Prime or Netflix, but it goes into how they fixed it. How they actually fixed it and made sure that it wouldn't fall over. Yeah, and only one man knew, and he didn't tell like anybody. He figured it out on his own, and he knew. How could you even like, I would be like a ball, I'd be a wreck. Like if I knew that a building that I had like worked on or designed, or even if I didn't work on it, I was just walking past the street and I realized that it could just like collapse out of nowhere, I would be like so anxious. So anxious. There would be nothing you could tell me. I would be completely, and I mean completely, a nervous wreck. Nervous freaking wreck. But he seemed calm, cool, collected. Ended up being able to like fix the problem. We like problem solvers. Now, if you ask my therapist or Allie's therapist, she'll be like, that's a lot of problem solving, but sometimes you need to feel your feelings. Because if you don't feel your feelings, you bottle them up. And you think that you're doing fine because you're trying to fix the problem. And by fixing the problem, you're just making the problem worse. I said, but if I fix the problem, I won't feel that way. Yes, we are going to be doing, so here's the plan for how streams are going to go in general, right? Allie and I are always going to continue to do big events, really cool things. Coming up is our birthday, so we have a really interesting and fun fall theme stream for our birthday coming up. We do have some St. Jude rewards that we still have to do for you that I'm really excited about as well. I want to say that we might actually do some of those St. Jude rewards more in the spring. And I think we're gonna have to wait for the cranberry bog stream because our travel schedule is insane. Yeah, birthday. Has New York ever had earthquakes in the city? Yes. So, kind of fun fact. I ended up being in like a low-rise building. So in the low-rise buildings, they're like under like 5-ish stories. I was in one when the earthquake came through. I think like a year ago. Felt that very strongly. Allie was actually visiting a friend and she was in like a high-rise, and a lot of high-rises sway to make sure that nothing happens to you. She didn't feel it at all. And a lot of my coworkers were actually out for lunch, and when I came back to my office, I was like, hey, did you feel that? I was at a client and like there was an earthquake. Anybody is a huge fan of earthquakes. Also, happy Friday.
On the 5 slot, yeah. We're doing the video, we're doing the audio, yeah.
So we're gonna head down really quick. They're low risers. Does that mean they're short? Here's the thing. I think that earthquakes are really cool. And I can tell you why they're really cool. So earthquakes are really cool for like a number of reasons, right? If you want to go like spiritual. Allie, I get it. Just 1 minute, guys. I'm going to pause this for a minute. Allie needs me to take care of something really quickly. And then we'll get into like why earthquakes are cool. Particularly when it has to do with buildings, but also like why they're cool, okay? So give me 1 minute. Okay, guys. So that should now be taken care of. If you are watching on YouTube Vertical, apparently it may not be coming through. So I'm going to try for like the 4th or 5th time to try to get the chat to work. I'm seeing like some of it, right? But I'm not seeing all of it apparently. So if you, if I missed something from you, so sorry. I'm trying my best. So here it is. So this is a church. I'm really harsh about my churches. This is a very ugly church to me, but it is a church. And part of the reason that this building here, this building that could have possibly had 1/16 of a shot of pummeling over if it was hit by hurricane strength winds, that looks like a giant light plug. Part of the reason that it has this open structure is to accommodate for this church. See, I think the chat is working, Balaban, but apparently I'm missing some of it, so I think I'm seeing some of it, but not all. Also, in this building, there's an amazing, like, not lounge. What would you call it? Cafeteria? But if you look, it is literally just held up by that little light plug. Just a personal opinion. It is not pretty. Look, I understand some people have a modern aesthetic. However, I would prefer like just a little bit more color, just a little bit more beauty. Okay. So as we cross, we're gonna cross over Lexington. We're gonna go to, oh gosh, what are you? Park? We're heading over to Park. But before we do, we got 2 more stops. Do you see this building? This is considered like one of the most beautiful. So this building right here, this is the Chrysler. It has beautiful, beautiful lines to it. Oops. I mean, it'd be nice if I could keep my selfie stick straight. There we go. I love it because it looks like sunbeams. I love how like curved it is. Also, if you look, the observatory deck apparently is like not very good. But if you look, they have little gargoyles. They're meant to look like hood ornaments. So give you like the luxury feel by looking towards cars that are super expensive, right? Comparing this building to the Empire, it's a lot smoother. To me, it almost looks like, I don't know. This is gonna sound really weird because I'm talking about a building, but like a skein of wool. So like when you have like a big needle and it has wool around it, I just love how it looks. Yes, so deep. We talked about the lipstick building from the 1980s. That is where we started, sort of. So if you missed that portion of it, we can maybe kind of see it actually. Oh, look, we can see it reflected. You want to see the Burning Mill? We can't actually see the building anymore, but do you see right there in the middle, on the glass? That's the lipstick building. No. So do you see the found? The terracotta buildings are before. The Chrysler Building is right here. So it is behind the terracotta buildings. It is the beautiful silver spindle that's right there. Wait, Cat Pebble, is that true? The Chrysler Observatory isn't very high up, giving rise to the habit of saying something is disappointing or mid. Is it? Because I have heard that it is very disappointing because it's not very high up. But I don't know if that's actually where it comes from. Thank you for the follow, Baba. How are you? Welcome on in. We have one more building. I keep forgetting about this building, so we have one more building. Then we're heading over to Park. No, it's not true. So here's how you trick streamers. You have something. Hi, you do. Here's what you do. You make sure that it sounds reasonable enough. And I will probably believe it. Probably. Wait, so is this the Bayard? I mean, it does have like a really beautiful top. We're actually going to pass one of my favorite clocks. If you didn't know, on daylight savings, when we sprung forward for spring, we actually did this thing where we looked up and found a bunch of different clocks. I think we're going to do part 2 downtown in the financial district for when we fall back. I just have to make sure it's not over TwitchCon. So before we head on, we're gonna cross the street maybe so that we can get a better view. But this building coming up is the GE building, and I am not a huge fan of red brick, like that kind of orange color. However, some of the details on this are gonna be stunning. Like absolutely stunning.
Right now we do excellent.
Am I allowed inside the skyscraper buildings? I mean, we can. It's just that we don't really have a purpose to be there. And also, like, data can get kind of weird inside buildings. We may actually pop into this lobby, though, because it is really beautiful. If you've ever gone to Christie's, like the auction house, they have a school, actually, and I don't know if they were permanently there, but I went to a lecture for a class here.
That's the thing.
So one of the things that I really love about it is that it's super, super deco. So it's very hard edged. It has a lot of symmetry to it. Like if you look at these lights, those are phenomenal, right? Just the detailing on it. Even these, which are lightning, has little faces in it. And you also have like all of these just like little moments that have to do with labor. So you have the energy of the workers that would come to work here, right? So not only does GE make products that, you know, need electricity, because they are General Electric, but you have like a representation of all of the workers that used to work in this building for General Electric, which I think is really cool. I don't know if we can go in here. Oh, it doesn't look like anything on the inside. Well, I like it because it has 2 fists. It's not just one, it's 2. Oh, they're closed, no wonder. Oh, here. So we are gonna go into this lobby if they let us. It was designed by renowned architectural firm Cross & Cross. Between 1929 and 31, it's the Art Deco building and is one of the most expressive skyscrapers of its era. It is constructed as headquarters to the RCA Corporation, but was deeded to the General Electric Company prior to its completion. And it also has beautiful red marble. It became a landmark in 1980. Yeah, so we are gonna go inside this one because it is one of my favorites. Also, just look at these little details of even the, oh, sorry. But this is just something I want you to see. If you look at these lobbies, you may be like tempted to go past, right? But look at all of this mosaic work. These are all tiny, tiny pieces that have been hand cut and laid out in this pattern. And then these are vents. Can you imagine? Like if you think of our vents right now, look at those vents. It's just beautiful. I don't think she's gonna let us in, but thanks, wins. RCA was a Sony? I didn't know that, Emery. Tell me more about it. Yeah, also, my great grandpa was a blacksmith, so I kind of have a special love of like metal, and some of these details are just really beautiful. This detail, this sort of ridging also is like super, super trendy right now. You'll see like stone sinks that look kind of like actually what's up here. Do you see that? So that is actually like carved into the stone. You're seeing like stone sinks, you're seeing cabinetry. All of these have this kind of detail to it, and everyone's talking about how modern it is. It's actually not that modern. But you can see like how they've used like silver leaf on the ceiling to kind of create like a reflective surface. You then have the combination of tiny mosaics with just big pieces of marble. Hi paleontologist, welcome on in. I know, but it's completely immaculate. Yeah, I also really like this little detail. I know it's a dumb detail, but the little exit button. I don't know if she'll let me just kind of go down, but we will try. And then up here you have all these sun details, which I find beautiful. Yes. Oh, okay, thank you. It's a beautiful building. Well, and that was what I was worried about. Because even if you're just there to video the architecture and you don't have anyone in screen, sometimes people will be very protective. I got the boot, no. We got a polite request and we honored said request because we're good humans. That's the thing about IRL streaming, is you just need to know when to leave. Kind of like a party, you know? Hi, Alpha. This is a subway. I don't ever take this subway. I forget it exists. Though also, like, I'm not really coming into the 50s. Though I love this, but I love this clock so much. Lady just doing her job. Exactly. But I did want to show you the sun on it because it is really, really well done and really beautiful. Oh my God. Okay. Friends, I am going to try to get us a more in-depth tour of this. However, I don't know if they'll let us in. I may have to actually reach out separately. But the Waldorf Astoria has been under renovation forever, like absolutely forever. So we're gonna try to take like a little bit of a peek in. Oh, so Balvin, so a lot of people don't care why you're filming. They don't care. They just don't want you filming, which I do understand, you know. Hi, Bryant, welcome on in. Also, if you want to say hi, I will say hi back to you. Oops. I don't know why, but it wants to tip. There we go. So this is the Waldorf Astoria. Super expensive, gorgeous hotel. Let's see, welcome back. It's been gone forever. There is an amazing clock in here. So if we redo our clock stream, we will do our best to get to see the clock. Hello, John. Welcome on in. How is everybody? Woo. I think we're on the wrong mode. We're on the wrong mode. So it's kind of going topsy-turvy. I did not get like any sleep last night. So I am a little tired. Say goodbye to Chrysler, everybody. And also, guys, if you end up watching a VOD or after you're done like with our stream or whatnot, if you pop onto YouTube and you like it, leave a comment. That would be really helpful. I'm always interested what people remember after our live streams. And if you would like me to, I would have to take more time out of my like schedule in general. But I am thinking about doing sort of smaller shorts that are more architecture based, just because I do love it. Wow, that is a massive flag. So I haven't, not since it's reopened. My mom, for one of her birthdays, we visited, and they had like a raw bar for, it wasn't Japanese, it was Chinese. I can't remember what region of China, and it was very good, and they like toasted you with like champagne, but that was like forever ago, so I haven't been there since the reopening. So if you know what's good, you let me know. Oh look, maybe you can see my outfit. Ah! Maybe if I push it one more time, it'll lock. Yes. I see you. Yeah, there are some really beautiful hotels. Also, though, I will say, the Waldorf Astoria was placed where it was because someone was mad. He did not like, I think it was his mother-in-law. I will find you the exact, and I mean the exact reason. And she was very snotty, and she like didn't want people who weren't of her class. She had to be old money coming to her neighborhood. She just didn't think people belonged there. So he said, "Oh, really? You don't think that those people belong here? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take the plot of land right next to you. I'm gonna build you a massive hotel. Massive hotel. Anybody with the money can stay there. Take away your exclusivity, and I'm gonna block your view." That's petty. Super, super petty, but so, so good. Isn't it good? I mean, and not, if it were me and my view were getting blocked and my neighborhood was changing, that would be really bad. However, apparently she had it coming. We gotta think about that. Oh yes, yeah. I think Speed will take one look at this and be like, "Nerd, bye bye, nerd, bye." The man is surrounded by security. Look, I would have an easier time. Like, oh no, I'm not gonna say that because that's too political. I would have an easier time walking up to Anne Hathaway and grabbing her bag than to be like, to get to Speed, okay? I would have an easier time just like taking everything that Anne Hathaway had in her arms while she was filming Devil's Wear Prada than to get near the man. I appreciate it though. Good luck to him. If there are New Yorkers that are enjoying hanging out with Speed, good job to you. Hi, Rick. Also, this building over here is one of my favorites. Do you remember flash drives? Yeah, I kind of forgot they existed too. But I used to have a flash drive that was like, that you would like push out. So I found said flash drive from when I was like in middle school, I think. And I was like playing with it. It broke. But I was having a great time playing with it, sliding it in and out. So this is what that reminds me of. This building people are so mad about. I can't remember, Allie, why were people mad about this building? I think it's kind of weird, like, because if you look, it has this like massive setback. Part of the reason they're part of the reason they're doing that is because a certain amount of the land underneath needs to be for public use, and it has to be a certain distance from the sidewalk, but they didn't want to have to lose all of that space. If you've noticed, they've also created setbacks. Not only does that give you outdoor space on those ledges, but it does help, like, if you drop something, for example, it's not going to come to the ground crashing. But yeah, we will also, oh my god, the Algonquin Hotel. Yes. Also, this building right here, the Hemsley building, it is completely blocked by the MetLife building, but this building is so freaking cool. If you ever can, I would look up historical photos of the Helmsley building because it is the tallest thing there. and it just is reflected around like open sky. I will try to find you maybe a picture of this building, and I'll put it in our Discord. We do have a Discord, so if you want like kind of the extra content, sometimes, particularly when we do like history stuff, people will ask me like where I found something, how I know something, like what something looked like that I'm describing, but we can't see it because it doesn't exist anymore. If you ever have those questions, go under content. If you go under content, then that way we can be reminded to put them there for you. Does that make sense? I don't really know if the Algonquin cat is on duty. They say he's on duty. Really, that cat is served by everybody who stays at that hotel. You know what I mean? Yes, Hamlet. I always thought Hamlet would be a really, really great, I thought, and I kid you not, I thought Hamlet would be an amazing name for Nico. Nico did not want to be called Hamlet. I thought I could call him Hammy. He wanted to be Nico. I thought Frankie would make a really good toast and call her Little Toasty, and that Nico could also be called Butter. Allie didn't want that either. If you're wondering who I'm talking about, Allie has two cats. Their names are Nico and Frankie. Sometimes we put little cameras on them and they go walking around. Sometimes my cat Mac and Cheese, yes, now you're seeing the connection with all the food. Mac and Cheese will come out with us as well. So I have two orange cats. She has a calico and a cow cat, and we love them a lot. What's your favorite skyscraper that you like in New York City? So I always think of skyscrapers as being super, super, super tall. Yes, I saw, Allison. I saw. I did. I was trying to figure out how to tell you while also telling everybody about the cats, Allie. Hi, William. Thank you for following. Welcome on in. Now I don't remember anything I was saying. Oh, so one of my favorite buildings, it is around, oh my God, I can't talk. Let me, my brain is not catching up with my mouth. We typically don't read emails on stream. However, when they pop up and they're very exciting, I saw it. And now my brain went mush. Okay, so to answer your question, yes, I have a lot of favorite buildings actually in New York City. One of them is downtown. So if you go downtown around, not Union Square, Madison Square Park, I love the Flatiron Building, but if you go across, if you literally go across this way, there is going to be a building that is very, very tall, and it has a cap on it. It is gold. It's actually one of the first buildings I ever drew when I came to New York because I loved it so much. When you're really high up on like an observatory platform, it looks like a tiny perfume bottle. And that building, folks, has a very, very salacious story. And it has to do with murder, romance, adultery. Buildings can be hot, guys. Buildings can be hot.
Start getting to food.
And yes, please make sure that you follow our socials. We just learned that we have a very cool opportunity, so we would love for you to follow along with us. We can't say anything, but hopefully we're able to say something to you all soon. A skyscraper equals 4 stories. I thought a skyscraper equaled 10. Like anywhere in between 6 and 10. There are a couple of things that made skyscrapers, like the Hemsley Building, like some of the first. There's actually, it's very small. It's actually very interesting to me. the skyscrapers that would have been massively tall to people in the Victoria, like the late Victorian era, right? Were not that tall. There's a building called Two Towers. I think it's down by Bowery. We would have to double check. I will put pictures of it in Discord because it is shockingly tiny. That building is only 10 stories. It is tiny, 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 tiny. And we'll put it, and then that way you can compare. Do most of the skyscrapers have viewing decks, and are they free? It depends. A lot of the viewing decks are not going to be free because you have to staff them. There are going to be some that are quote unquote free, but they're associated with a restaurant or bar, so the assumption is that you're going to be buying food. So the best way actually, if you want to see the edge, is to buy, like reserve a spot at the restaurant, because then you're not buying the ticket. You're instead getting the ticket for free and using the same amount of money on food, which I'm a foodie, so I'm like, sign me up, you know? I live in the burbs. Burbs are not bad. You know what burbs have? They have birds. So my sister and I, my cat Mac loves birds to the point that he's actually killed, get ready folks, two or three monitors. I have to ask Allie. Definitely 2 monitors and an entire TV because he loves birds so much. I was out in the burbs with my mom recently, and there is something really lovely about a lawn with birds and bunnies and squirrels and a car that you don't have to worry about parking. But look at this lobby. This like looks like it could be like a sound system. I know these are all lights, but it is really cool. Apparently Allie was telling me, and she put it in chat, I'm going up further. Oh, so apparently this office building has a really cool gym and spa, and they said that they made it sound like it was included because it was so expensive per month to rent in here. Apparently not. Apparently it's separate. Oh, Luke, I am so sorry. See, Allie is very, very afraid of heights. She is super afraid of heights. But we really want to do the edge. It's just very expensive. So Allie and I don't know, like, I don't know how we would do it, right? We're going to do 2 360 spins for you. We'll do one with me. And now I'll do one the other way. Oh my God, the gym is $600. Wait, are you sure the gym is $600? There better be private instructors at that gym. It better be for a couple. You better get 2 memberships. Because that seems reasonable, okay? 2 memberships, reasonable. Okay, like $300. I know that doesn't seem like it would be, but trust me, here in New York, like $300 on a gym is nothing. We have never spent that on a gym. However, I really want to spend that on a gym. Like, I don't want to spend $300 on the gym. I just want the experience of, for a year, having a $300 gym. Does that make sense? I hope so. No, so no. Allie wants to do it with me. She wants to do it with me. However, it is very expensive. So I'm trying to figure out for the edge, if there's a way we could do it and not have to spend as much money. Wait, they have a private dining room as well. So essentially this is like a private club. Right, exactly. Equinox is $300 a month. So if it's $600 and it's for like a couple, totally fine. But if it's $600 like for one person, you better be getting like facials. You better be getting nail treatments. Like, there should be more perks. I am now, if you find more information on it, please put it in Discord under entertainment maybe. Because that's just not how I live. Like, I wear $7 press-on nails. Also, this is so cool. So the cars go through the building for the city streets. We went through this building, and it was really interesting because I've never done that before. Where are we? I don't think I've ever gone straight to this building. Maybe a skunk or two? No. No, no, no. We don't need a skunk. Wow, I really like... I don't know what flower this is supposed to be, but that is very cool. If you like sort of that kind of like Art Nouveau style motif, I actually do a lot of drawing on my free time, and I got a lot of work from my uncle's house and my parents' house, and I might, if you want to see some of it, if chat's really good, I might take some of my sketches. This also, this one right here, this is how I felt waking up and realizing I had to go to work on Tuesday. It was hard. I'm not gonna lie. If you went back to work the day after Labor Day, did you struggle? I struggled. I really struggled. I struggled. Like a lot. It is a good way to go to Grand Central, but I like going the long way. I don't know why. I don't know. I'm always worried we're gonna lose data, so I always go the long way. Yeah, it's about $200 per person to go on the edge. See, I agree. There are a lot I could spend on for $300. Also, our cats, they have very expensive food. And their food went up again. So like their food I think is like $450 a month. And I would rather my cats be healthy than I do a really expensive gym. So for Labor Day, what did we do? What did we do? Oh, I know what we did. We went to the West Indian Parade. So we went to the West Indian Parade. We were able to see a circus. There was a guy who balanced on his head, on top of his brother's head. It was very cool. They also had roller skaters that the girl put the skates behind his head and whipped her around. It was very cool. We might put some different like little segments of that coming up. And then Allie and I just laid outside after stream. I was so tired. I was so tired. And yeah, I think what we'll do is, I know Allie really wants to do a subathon. We have a lot of stuff coming up that will require us to travel. So I know that it is September, but for different like tips and rewards and things, I think one of them will be to reveal different parts of my artwork. I will put one of my sketches, I think, if I took a picture of it, because I did a drawing. I did a drawing that reminded me of what was back there on the building. It was like really floral. I did it in high school, but I really liked it and it reminded me of that. So if I took a picture of it when I was home, I will. Can you stream earlier? It is late here. Oh, Luke! Luke, I would love to. If you like earlier streams, here's the deal. Earlier streams happen for Allie and I. Here's one. They happen on the weekends. So they happen on Saturday. Saturday and Sunday we have earlier streams. We've been getting on at like 1. However, it makes it really hard for us to do the rest of our content. So I think we're gonna try to push up the time maybe do a little bit of an earlier stream. So if that's something you want, please let us know. I work a 9 to 5. So part of the subathon thing is that it won't be like a true subathon where we never stop. Unfortunately, that's not healthy for us. I know I sound very personable and I'm very outgoing. There needs to be time for me to like just do nothing. And I don't know if I'd be happy just like staring at a camera like with nothing, right? So the subathon would be like, hey, when we hit certain markers, we immediately do certain things, right? So like maybe because there's a lot of stuff we could stream, right? And we just decide not to because we're tired or whatnot. So like maybe on our second channel, I would do an art stream for you because I have a lot of costumes I have to make for Halloween. I have a lot of costumes I have to make for Halloween. I have to draw a bunch of stuff for merch. Merch is coming. And sometimes Allie's able to start at 2 or 3 in the afternoon. It's just that if I'm gonna be joining her, I got a job. But we have a job because we have cats and I love them. One day, I truly hope that one day I will be able to do this full time. It's what I truly love to do. But, you know, sounds good, Luke. But for right now, I have a 9 to 5 to help with that. Do you know what I mean? All of that is to say, sometimes on Thursdays, I'll save up all of my time off and I'll be able to stream sometimes in between, like let's say I have an early meeting, sometimes I have to come in at like 7 a.m. or 6 a.m. even, then I'll get out early. Artie, if you're looking for the horizontal screen, there are 2 ways that you can do it. There is a horizontal screen on YouTube. I don't know how you find it. If somebody can let him know in chat, that would be great, or let me know in chat and then I can let you know. Otherwise, you can also come on Twitch where it will also be a horizontal. Oh my god, 1 million subs. I mean, look, I don't know. That seems like a far off goal. Thank you for the 100 bits, Anne-Marie. Thank you. I tried to do this because that's like half a heart, but it doesn't really work. I hear music. Why is there music? Wait, is there a performance I didn't know about? Wait, is there a performance? Does anyone know about a performance? Like, it sounds like a big show. Wait, is there some... Today is Wednesday. No, that can't be yoga. That's too far away. So we are trying... I got distracted. I got very excited. So we didn't actually stay on track. But we are trying to speedrun seeing as many different skyscrapers as possible. Here is a much better view of the Chrysler Building. It is a beautiful representation. It is what a lot of people think of. And yes, it is a very, very, very loud stereo. You all are correct. Not me. I thought like, where is the performance at? And then also we have this kind of very modern skyscraper over here. Run, see, they're trying to get their train. Don't be like them. Try to leave on time. Yeah, so I love Grand Central. Fun fact, Penn Station actually used to have a building right where Madison Square Garden is right now that was very similar in appearance to Grand Central. There has been a very, very large push for many, many, many years to recreate the original building that stood there for Penn Station once they demolish Madison Square Garden. I don't know if that will happen. I really don't. I don't think so, but a lot of architects are trying to say that it should happen. Oh, also, somebody asked, I think a while back, like maybe a month ago, I kind of forgot about it, but I did finally remember. So a month ago, somebody asked me what the average height of a New York building is. There's actually, like, depending on the area, it depends. But in general, it's about 5 3/4 of a story tall. That's the kind of average height of a New York building. I love seeing all these people. Some people are just taking videos. Some people are streaming. I always play this game that's like, are you streaming? Are you videoing? Or are you on a Group chat. Also, fun fact, this building right here, this monstrosity of a skyscraper, it used to be an amazing theater. This area, so we think of theaters being mostly up Broadway, right? That's where we think of theaters being, correct? This area also used to be a theater district. And as sort of this area fell out of favor after, you know, the Victorian era, after the Depression and whatnot, a lot of those theaters started to close, and they made room for lots and lots of boring offices. Ooh, look at that window. I always tell people to look up. I understand why you look down, but look at those windows. Aren't those beautiful? So far, if you've seen a building that you really, really love, please let me know which building it was so far that is one of your favorites. Oh, you can kind of see one of my... Oh my God, I didn't realize it was this close. Here, wait, we're gonna cross the street. We have to cross the street. We gotta cross the street. It's important to cross the street. Ooh, that's a bus. That man has no fear. He's just walking in the street with buses flying by. Okay, so we are gonna walk a little bit this way because then you can see the top of that building that I really like. And there's another building that's right by that building. We're not gonna go all the way down there because that building is in like the 20s. And we are trying to make it to the water. The reason we're trying to make it to the water is so that you can see the skyline right before sunset. Oh man, I actually needed to stay further back, I guess. You can't see it, but behind that building, there's another skyscraper. And then this building, right here, I don't know anything about it, but I love the little green cap on it. Yeah, move the bus, move the building, folks. Sorry, guys. Cosmic, thank you so much for following. Following is free and it helps out our channel. I believe we're at 870 people, which is really cool. We're gonna try to hit 21,000 at some point. I would love to hit it before the end of the year. Really before TwitchCon. But consider following, it's free. Hello. Also, oh my gosh, I know it is not part of our skyscraper thing. We are gonna stop here for just a minute. And here's why. Not the gold sauce. Where is their... Do they not have it? Where do the toys live? Wait, there's no toys? Oh. Wait, where are the toys? I'm not at Grand Central, I'm close to it. I was hoping they had the McDonald's toys out because I hear a rumor that BTS has McDonald's toys. I think they should be here today, the 3rd, and then they also have like a classic edition coming out the 23rd. Where are the twin plushies? So it was voted that people didn't want plushies. Now, granted, do we have a lot of voters? No. But people wanted a hat, they wanted a t-shirt, and they wanted stickers. So that's what we were trying to give the people what they wanted, and we've kind of been put that on hold for a little bit. Okay, so this is the building that I wanted to show you. A lot of people are mad about it because it's super, super tall. However, and I get it, I do. This building is beautiful. The reason that I say it is because even though it is super, super tall, it actually mimics a lot of the shapes around it. So you can see that, bus. What they've done is they've taken the actual arches of Grand Central, because we were right by Grand Central. They've taken the arches of Grand Central, they put them at different scales, and they put them onto the building so that it feels like it's actually supposed to be there. Meanwhile, this building here has a kind of stepped appearance, and they've mirrored the actual outline, like the silhouette of the building over here. And so it really is meant to feel like it should always be there. And I appreciate that. Yes. So this is the Bryant Park Library. It's one of my favorite libraries. If you are a person who loves children's books, if you love a little bit of history, in the children's book area of the Bryant Park Library, you'll be able to find the original Piglet and Winnie the Pooh. If you are a researcher and you're up in the research libraries, you're also going to see a really, really famous painting. Unfortunately, it was destroyed by smoking and a lot of like tar and buildup to the point that it could not be saved. So what they ended up doing is they took down, and then they put white paint over it. However, there are amazing restoration groups here in New York City, and they ended up repainting some of the most famous cloud murals. I believe they're from the early 1900s, the late 1800s, and they are stunning. The same artist, I believe, who did these, like the originals in the Bryant Park Library, also did up on 5th the University Club's clouds as well. Hello, Artie, welcome on in. If you really want like a book that you can take home, the New York Public Library here, you can do that. Apparently they also have a nice roof deck. And then if you didn't know, there are, Bryant Park used to be a cemetery. I learned that like I think last year. But there's also tons and tons of books that are deep, deep, deep in the ground. If you want to see New York bedrock, if you also go down, you will have no service, absolutely no service. But if you go down into the library and you go into their performing arts space, you'll be able to see beautiful carved rooms from bedrock. Also another building, ugly, so we're not going to talk about it. So we have one more building, Patience, and I don't remember what the other one is, but they're beautiful. Bryant Park has beautiful cafes, yes, beautiful cafes. It also has, oh yes, see, they do have the BTS Tiny Tan toys. Yes, exactly. I don't know, but they may actually have yoga going on right now. I think yoga is on Wednesdays. Whoa, bush babies. Okay, that's kind of a cool ad specifically for Halloween. Also, we've learned that Le Botanist, really good food. We went with a streamer called Katie Benz. She was actually in New York. Really, really sweet streamer. Has amazing content. She's a fantastic voice actress, by the way. But Le Botanist is all soy-free, dairy-free, vegan, and gluten-free. Highly recommend it. Very, very good. Hi. Thank you, Carva. Yes, exactly. If you keep going straight, you will be in Times Square. We are gonna take a little bit of a pit stop because I don't know a lot about this building either. However, I do love it for their entranceway. The rest of the building, kind of boring, right? But if you go across the street, you have all of the different months and their signs. It's just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful lobby. Someone remind me, and we will go across the street if I think about it. It is actually the one Vanderbilt building. I don't know if that is that one. There's one building that looks like its lobby should be a stream room. Also, amazing bathroom right here. However, it is usually got a little bit of a wait. Other bathrooms in this area are the library as well as the Whole Foods. Whole Foods bathrooms, not the cleanest. However, not as many people know about them. Oh, it's the one behind me. Okay, so we'll cross over and then we can take a look at it. I want to show you the Radiator Building. Yes, you heard right, the Radiator Building. We're gonna have a little bit of noise from yoga. So what we are going to do is I'm gonna show you the Radiator Building and then we're gonna exit the part. Because right now, here, I'll show you. We used to do yoga all the time here. Fun fact, Allie and I have been told we can no longer do yoga because our joints cannot sustain it. So I'm really sad.
Shimmy, shimmy, shimmy with this. If any tension has crawled up, this is where we let go. Keep your left hand down, right arm sweeps up. Both hands go up. Energize those fingertips. Bring the arms. Corazón arriba. Hands come down, left hand to your heart. Paint the horizon. Sweep your left fingertips back.
So yeah, but if you love yoga, if you can still do yoga, highly recommend coming to this. It's free. But in the meantime, this is a fantastic view, and here's why. You have the Empire Building right here. And then right next to it, this is also a very expensive building to live in, by the way, and this is the Radiator Building. This is a beautiful building. It is super iconic. It looks almost like a crown to me. It has very, very dark brick as well as gold. Their lobby is amazing. They absolutely do not let you film in there, and it is not usually open to the public. It is open certain times during the year for tours, but every single time they've opened tours, I have not been able to get a pass, and they definitely don't let you stream inside. So I'm hoping this year that will change. Also, it is not on yet, but if you like lights, the H&M building has a spire. There are, I think, about 200 people that are able to change the lighting, actually change the lighting on it. Okay, so we're gonna head out, and then that way we can enter into Times Square, where we're gonna see some more buildings, and then we're gonna head over towards the water because I want to be able to show you some of the skyline. Yeah, so there's actually a lot of free things that you can do in New York through the park system. If you want to learn how to, I don't know, be an archer, unfortunately you have to be in Staten Island, right? But they have archery classes in Staten Island for those of you that want to, for free, through the park system, right? They have specific classes for kids to learn how to garden. They have, obviously they have yoga, they have poetry slams, They have these classes too that are really fun where you just like go and make crafts. So here's the thing, everyone says yes, living in New York, super expensive, 100%. Absolutely, absolutely diabolically expensive. However, there's so many free things that you can do, and the caliber of free performing arts things you can go to is just, it's high. It is so high, and it is worth it. And so if you can take advantage of them, particularly if you're a student, if you are a student in New York, or even if you're a student outside of New York, they often have special student discounts. If you're an older person, if you are a senior citizen, they'll also have free things that you can do, or cheaper tickets as well, so keep that in mind. For free art, well, so that's the thing. I was actually considering going to Staten Island for free archery. However, it's like far into Staten Island, like car far. I know we do owe you a Staten Island stream, so don't worry. I haven't forgotten about it. Not yet.
Once again, a little bit of public
Yeah, so Allie and I did archery, one stream, and Allie and I dressed as Zelda from Breath of the Wild, and it was really fun. I got really flustered and ended up not being able to, I like literally dropped the arrow instead of shooting it. It's one of my favorite clips of all time. It's one of my favorite clips of all time. It didn't do as well as I thought it would on socials, but I really loved it. Yeah, a lot of people will have roommates, or they'll get married or move in with people that they're dating, or they live with family because it's just more easy. I still don't understand why Verizon has an ice cream cone on its ad. I do understand that it is making me think of it, and I am looking at it over and over again because I'm confused, and also ice cream is delicious. But I don't get it. Kiddo. Oh, I didn't know there was a little park up there, like a, not park, what is it called? Porch. I didn't know there was a porch there. Hello, Clayton. So Cosmic, we only do cosplay usually for specific things. We did our Breath of the Wild cosplay for St. Jude. It was our $3,000 reward that year, I think. We do I'm waiting for the ambulance to go by. So every year in May, we do a big push for St. Jude. So we ended up raising $3,000. We hit the $3,000 goal, so we did archery and cosplay. We've also done cosplays in the past as well for Just Dance. Actually, the new season of Just Dance is coming out in October, and we're really excited about it. So Allie and I are going to try to layer in some of those streams. They won't be consistent in the same way that these streams are consistent, right? We always stream on Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday pretty much, and then we usually layer in a Thursday, Monday, or Tuesday. Fridays are much more iffy for us, but we always have these flex days, right? But we're gonna try to add some of those back in because we miss dancing. We dance a lot at home, so we want to kind of bring those back to stream. So we keep that in mind as well. Hi from Texas. Hello, welcome on in. If you want to let me know where you're from, I would love to know. First time ever on CBS. Wait, where's the MTV Awards been before? I thought they were always on. Well, actually, I don't know. Also, I love this building. This is the Paramount building. I don't know. It doesn't feel like it should be in New York for some reason. It feels like very like Hollywood. Like I would put the Paramount building in another one. Also, this is One Times Square. That's where the Times Square Museum is gonna be. Super cool. Oops. Hey, nobody's asked me the weather. Well, see, that's the thing. Like, why is the MTV Awards on CBS and Paramount? Don't they have a channel anymore? I'm from France. Welcome on in. If you want to say what part of France, Allie and I have some friends that live in Marseille. We have some other friends that live in Paris. There is a Bubba Gump restaurant. Did you know that Bubba Gump? Allie and I looked up what you had to do to get hired as the Bubba Gump guy. They wanted 3 to 4 years of professional mascotting. Like, so like, if you were a school mascot or something, they wanted 3 or 4 years. And they were not paying a whole lot. Oh, I love Lyon!
Comedy show, guys.
I love Lyon. Well, they had great food. They had really great food, and the people there were very sweet. They're owned by bigger fish. I guess that makes sense. I think we took a train from Marseille to Lyon at one point. I lived in Paris for a little bit, so I also took trains all over from there as well. Oh, I miss France too. What do you mean, what? So if you didn't know, Times Square also has a lot of like free performances on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, typically. I also just really love seeing people as they get their photos taken and stuff. Oh my gosh! That is such a good ad. It completely got my attention. The 404 error, and it's just for Snapples. Diabolical. Diabolical. Oh, Washington. Allie and I were supposed to be in Seattle this weekend, but isn't it beautiful? I know a lot of people that are New Yorkers avoid Times Square, but I love Times Square. Oh my gosh. McDonald's Lane has its own cartoon. Oh man. What? It has its own TV show coming out. Lost in McDonald Land? Oh my god, it's gonna be on YouTube? So Allie was like, you need to have a cartoon, like a full-fledged cartoon. And they just kind of smiled, the McDonald's people. They knew. They knew. I love the TGV. I do. I love the TGV. For a while, my ringtone was the SNCF sound. That like, da-da-da-da. Because it made me so happy. If you don't know what the SNCF is, it's like a train in France. But like its little ringtone is Wait, what isn't real, Allison? What's not real? Allie? What's not real? Oh, I thought you were talking about the email and I was panicking. I know it's like Amtrak, and I know the TGV is like the trains that are like further out. Those are like Metro North in a way, right? So if you were to compare like trains in New York City, like you have the subway and the metro, those are kind of the same. Metro North is kind of like the TGV in a way, or like New Jersey Transit, right? But I love SNCF. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on. My knee is actually kind of hurting today, guys. So if you hear me say, hey, my knee and my back kind of hurt, don't feel bad for me. Well, I guess feel bad for me, but don't worry about me. Allie and I are getting physical therapy to try to make sure that we can stream and be happy. So don't worry about it. Hi, ukulele. How are you? 3. It's a magic number. Doo, 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 doo. If you're wondering why certain people get calls out, on Twitch they have consecutive streaks, where if you come in consistently, you'll be able to like count up how many streaks you are. If you are a longtime person on YouTube, hello. I just don't know how many times you've been here, but I appreciate you all coming on in. One day I hope to be on this screen, folks. I hope to be on it. Maybe not this specific screen. I don't really need to be on the MTV. Oh God, I can't talk today. My voice is giving out. I don't need to be on that specific show. It'd be really cool to be. Or that specific billboard. I just mean I would really love to be in a billboard in Times Square. Not in. Oh, on. I don't want to be trapped in a billboard. I want to be on the billboard. Yeah, so New York has a lot of rats. Apparently about 2 to 3 million rats. A lot of people will say there's about 8 million rats. That's actually an urban legend. We learned this during our stream on urban legends. If you didn't know, I sometimes go on tangents and I go down rabbit holes, and Allie and I research a bunch of things, and then we'll bring you those streams. So for example, today was it's a flavor of skyscrapers. Today is more about seeing cool skyscrapers and just like kind of touching our toe in the water. But sometimes we go deep into stuff. And we looked at urban legends, and one of them is that there's 8 million rats here in New York City. Not true, there's about 2 to 3 million, but that's still a lot. Still a lot. I would love that wins. I'm just glad that we have a community that really cares about what we do, that loves what we do. And we really appreciate you guys for coming on in. Said hi. Hi, Aramis. Hello. I don't know why, but on my app, certain people's comments are getting like triple, quadrupled. Hello from Pakistan. And Andre, hello. Yeah, isn't it really beautiful? Because I think, here's the thing, I love Times Square because of all the light. It just makes me happy. There's so much color, there's so much energy, there's so much light. I think, whoa, have they always had the Microsoft cube up there? I don't think so. When we get to 8th, we're gonna make a turn. Not turn, but we're gonna kind of look that way. The reason being is that I think we'll be able to kind of talk about one of the mega sculptures, not sculptures, skyscrapers. There is going to be a massive skyscraper. They have actually started to build up. They've now completed the foundation. I think it should be done in 2026, which would be kind of wild.
Beautiful building.
This building was initially, I think.
Tajay! Exactly. And what I'll do is I will put, yeah. No, wait. No, you said, are you streaming? I said, hi. Yeah. Have a good day. So further up to the right, you're gonna see kind of a, you're gonna see a construction, but it's going to be this like twist, and it's almost like a carnival ride. They're gonna be able to drop you down. I'll put it in Discord, but I think I actually do have a photo of it. I think we'll go across the street. In the meantime, while we wait, that's the McGraw building. I don't know why. I think it's pretty. I know I give this type of building a hard time, but it's like this weird blue color, and it has like red railings on it that I think are really pretty. And then, so what we'll do is we're gonna go up so I can show you the spot of where the next sort of massive, tall skyscraper is gonna be. It's gonna be 52 stories. It is going to be a hotel with over 800 rooms. Oh, I would love to, but I actually bought, I left them in my work freezer, unfortunately. I bought oat sandwich bars. And that doesn't sound good, I bet, but I mean like oat milk, so they're like ice cream bars. I'd rather take my sugar on that. Allie and I have decided that we're gonna try to eat a little bit healthier, kind of moving forward. Don't worry, we're still gonna eat delicious things on stream. But we wanted to get like healthier, stronger for the new year. And then this year's been really hard. So we're gonna try to reset for the fall. Yeah, so settle. That's actually something that Allie and I had talked about doing. Today is just about trying to get to as many kind of quick skyscrapers as possible to get a little bit of a flavor for them. Because essentially, New York is so tall that like what we think of as a skyscraper is like no longer a skyscraper to us. It's like, oh, it's a building, you know? So we're gonna go up, and then I have another building I wanna show you. I was so mean to this building on stream. I know, ukulele, but it's for good. Maybe we'll have pizza sometimes, just not today. Yes, health is wealth. So we're gonna try to focus on that more. I do eat meat, yes. I eat pretty much everything. I don't like olives, but those are things that I don't like versus things that I like can't eat, you know what I mean? So we are coming up on the crane. The building itself is kind of shaped like a cornucopia, like that's standing upright. A lot of people have been calling it the torch. I don't actually know if that's its official name. But they're going to have a ride in it where you can literally just do a dead drop. So that'll be really kind of interesting and kind of cool. We are almost there. Pineapple pizza is healthy because it has pineapple on it. I mean, oh, so photos. We used to eat them for charity, and people paid us $75 to eat an olive because it was so bad. So this little bit of scaffolding that's going to encase these lower buildings, that is the start of that 52-foot tall torch-shaped building. It's going to have an amusement park right on the inside with a dead drop and over 800 hotel rooms in it. It looks like nothing, but it is going to tower over these buildings. Hi, Mighty, welcome on in. Hi, Uga, what's up? How are you? How you be? Okay, I'm putting this down. I think I took a picture for you because in that way I can show you. I can show you what it's gonna look like because I think it's gonna be really cool. Look at this is all the things I read and we didn't go through like any of it. That's okay. I'm looking for one specific one. Yes, we could be cartoon characters. I kind of love it. Sort of Dora the Explorer vibes, I know. What? Oh, here it is. So this is what they're building there. This is the artist rendering. So we are on 8th Avenue in Hell's Kitchen. We're kind of in the theater district, a couple of, like 1 block in from Times Square. But this is what that building is going to look like. It looks almost like an Olympic torch. They're gonna actually drop people as an amusement park ride here. There was a lot of pushback for the building. I do have to say I love the design actually. I think it's important that if we put new buildings in New York, we don't just make them boxes. Because like, we got enough boxes. Like, New York has been known for its architecture for everywhere. Like we have to start doing interesting stuff again, right? However, there is a lot of pushback from locals from the building for a lot of different reasons. In part because that ride, you're gonna have people screaming all night because it is a dead drop. And I think it's open to the air. I don't know 100%, but the thought of like having it be very loud. These over here, like these, like that's a hotel or whatever, but these are apartment buildings. So this tall tower is actually gonna take out a lot of the light that you get in Times Square, you know? So there is a lot of controversy about it. Also, there is the idea that people are a little bit fed up with the amount of tourism. New York has a huge housing shortage right now, and the idea is that more people want affordable housing that they can live in than additional hotel rooms. Hopefully, if there are a lot more hotel rooms, the idea is that will bring down the cost for tourists, bring more to the economy. Also, like, make it so that Airbnbs don't become quite as much of a thing, but they'll still be there, you know what I mean? I know, my shirt is kind of, there's words on it too. It says good vibes. Look it, you all stare at me all day. My shirt can stare at you if it wants to. Hiya, Martin. Okay, folks. I wanted to make sure that we saw that. And then we have one more building that's on this street. Whoa, that's cool. Look at this door. This looks like it would be a speakeasy. Isn't that fun? True, yes, we do need a lot more housing. That's part of the reason that people are looking at Mamdani, right, is he really wants to bring in more affordable housing. And to do so in a way that doesn't happen like with what happened in Hudson Yards. Hudson Yards is a huge financial issue for the city, for example. I have been now learning. The city thought that Hudson Yards would be a project that was self-sustained because it would bring in so many jobs, it would bring in so much revenue, and unfortunately that's not the case. Not the case at all. So I just hope that we start building in a responsible way. Yeah, so Martin, we're speed running them. So we're not doing a full tour of the best skyscrapers. We are trying to take a look at as many different kind of types as we can. So we looked at the Lipstick Building from the 80s, for example. We looked at the Chrysler Building and the Empire. We just touched on that new Torch building. I have no idea what it's going to be named, but everyone's been calling it the Torch building. I don't know when this building is from, but I'm guessing like the 2000s or the 90s. It's got the vibe, right? So we're trying to like have us look around a little bit more at like the environment, because oftentimes if I'm walking, I'm looking down. Like this is what I see most of the time. Or you all see this, like straight ahead, but you don't see up. We did go into the GE building. That's one of my favorite lobbies actually, but they got mad because they didn't want me filming. But we were able to go into like the vestibule right before the lobby, so we got to see a lot of it. Yeah, I usually see my shoes or dirt. So if you all don't remember, there was a building that I really owe an apology. I've decided the New York Times building, which is right there, another sort of iconic skyscraper, is much more ugly than the building that I went to town on because I thought it was ugly. However, it now has a saving grace. I am so excited for something that's coming here because I love the E. I think it's a great subway line. There's many great subway lines, but the Aldi's, and Aldi's is coming to New York City. We're gonna get a Lidl. I don't know how to say it. Lidl. I think it's Lidl. They have one down at Union Square. They're trying to pop them up in different areas. I think there's one coming like towards Chelsea, but we're gonna get an Aldi's. And for a lot of you, you're like, oh, well, why would that be really impressive and really important? Food is so high here. When I first moved to New York, there weren't really any there wasn't a Target. Target came into the city in like 2021, I think. Right? So like, there wasn't a Target. There were like no kind of like grocery stores. There wasn't like Pick and Save or anything, right? So when Target came in, it was like a big deal. When I first moved to New York, and I don't remember even what it was, but like I remember like a block of like cream cheese. So cream cheese, if it's like the knockoff brands, would be like $1. I remember it being $5 for cream cheese. And I was like, no way. No way. Yeah, Target didn't come in until like, I think it came in like the pandemic era. Wait, what do you mean, Sakataka? You need to cut down on 2 things? I don't know. Yeah, we have some loopholes, but not a lot. So everyone, do you see this building? So I was really mean to this building because I don't love the color. I think brown is ugly. It could be worse, right? I also felt like this feels like it feels like a floor grate, like a vent where air comes out of. It's ugly to me. However, folks, this right here, this beautiful, amazing building right here is going to be where the Aldi's is, and I am so freaking excited because it is so close. Bike lanes, you have 8, 10, 7, you have all sorts of bike lanes here. You of course have Port Authority. It is so easy to hop on the freaking train and just be there. So we're all gonna say a heartfelt apology. Yes, you're probably not the prettiest building in the world. You do have a part of you that looks like a massive floor vent. I know you were trying to be cool, and maybe I'm just not avant-garde enough to understand your aesthetic. Lovely building. However, you have something wonderful in you, right? It's not the outside that counts, it's the inside that counts. And you're gonna have an Aldi's in you. So on behalf of myself, where I tore you visually to shreds on stream because I hated how you looked so much, I apologize. I know it needs grocery stores. So now we're gonna have have like kind of in Midtown, and even like around New York City now, there's lots of Targets now. They're like all over. There's Trader Joe's, there's Whole Foods. Now we're gonna have an Aldi's and I don't know, Lidl. I can't say it. Oh my God, it's so hard. Hi Hamsto, welcome on in. Hi youth, what's up? Yeah, we don't have FEO shorts though, but it will be very cool. I am super excited. I am ready. My mom shops at Aldi's. There's an Aldi's like way up. I remember during the pandemic, I ended up ordering because there was no traffic. So during the pandemic, it was really weird because you could get things that were super far away from you to like deliver because there was just no traffic. So I got a massive, like everything you needed for Thanksgiving. Turkey, potatoes, everything. It like all came from Aldi's and it was so cheap. And I have been dying ever since. Whole Foods has great Christmas trees though. Forgot. I know it is not Christmas tree season. It's pumpkin season. Whole Foods has amazing pumpkins. Trader Joe's has cheaper pumpkins and sometimes better pumpkins, but they're not as like fluff. Like there isn't as many of them as Whole Foods. But Whole Foods has amazing Christmas trees. Now, if you get your Christmas tree from a Christmas tree stand, that is going to be a sustainably sourced tree. Also, on top of it, a lot of them really know like what you need. Apparently, there are some trees that are way better for allergies, some that are better for cats, etc. They know kind of all of that. Whole Foods doesn't care in that way because they're not in the Christmas tree business. However, if you want a baby Christmas tree and you want it to be really, really good, you know what? You know what you do? Buy it from Whole Foods. That's okay. I heard, no, subtle. I thought I saw somebody saying that there's going to be another one. Because I was further down, and it wasn't by Union Square, and I saw a sign for one. Find it. Maybe I was at 118th, but I don't think so. I thought I saw a wrap that said that they were coming. They're not there yet, but that they're going to be there. Oh no, did I touch something? I think I messed something up. So with Walmart, I tend to like the idea of a Walmart would be nice because you'd have everything. But I would prefer to have like a true, and I mean true like full grocery store. I also do have like mixed feelings about some of Walmart's practices. And I'm sure, like, every big business, right, has its faults. I just think I need an Aldi's more. Hi from Florida! Hey Rick, if you are from Florida, we're gonna be putting out a short, probably not this week because we have the Armory show. We have the Armory show coming, by the way. So tomorrow, I don't know if we'll be streaming or not. I think we won't be. But please check out Discord. I will try to post early in the morning if we're going to be streaming. That said, I think we won't be. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday we have the Armory show, so we'll be making a lot of content around that and like different cool things that we see. We do have to post some stuff for the West Indies parade and whatnot, but I do have a collab with Yolk Father. She is a fantastic TikTok personality as well as YouTuber and Instagrammer. We actually did a lot of footage with her. I have to finish editing that, and it's about Florida versus New York. We put up one of those already on our shorts on YouTube and then also on Instagram and TikTok. But we have another one that we're going to be doing as well, so definitely check it out. And then we also have our Gator stream. We have a thing with Mivyard. She is a fantastic sim streamer. I don't know if she's on right now. But all of that is to say, check out our shorts if you are from Florida or from elsewhere, because we visited Florida and it was super cool. But all of that is to say, we are going to be streaming be streaming Wednesday, Thursday, as far as I know, and possibly something else. So I'm not 100% sure, but we will definitely be streaming in some capacity for 9/11. If that is before or after 9/11, we may have to do it on a different day. It may be on Tuesday or something. I have to take a look at my work schedule. I'm also trying to go to a bunch of doctors to get my nose fixed. But Gert's Department Stores. Oh, I don't think I've ever heard of that. And also, hi Lance, welcome on in. But all of that is to say, definitely check out our other socials. In the Discord, I'm gonna be posting, I think I was gonna post some of my art. I guess maybe I will post I will post one of my cartoons instead, I think. Oh, the seaplane didn't happen. We got uninvited from the seaplane because they wanted to invite a bigger streamer instead. So no seaplane, that already happened, but I appreciate it. But thank you everybody for that. And we're gonna try to be learning a different dance routine, which I think will be kind of fun, but that will be later in the weekend. All of that is to say, I hope the raid is going through. If you don't know Ori does everything from, yeah, we got another very cool op instead. We got to go to the art show and that was super exciting for me. We also just learned about something else that we got, so we're really excited about that too. That is coming up later in September, but Ori's stream anniversary is right now. She is super kind, super sweet. When we first came on Twitch, she made us feel super welcome and super appreciated, and she's one of the reasons that we kept streaming. So please make sure that you say congrats, put a, I don't know, birthday cake emote, just a congratulations to her, and we will see you all soon. So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, adieu, 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 to you and you and you. Hit the raid chat, and please come back some more, some more, some more, some more. Hit the raid chat, and please come back some more. What you say? Bye everybody. Goodbye. Thank you everybody, and we'll do more in-depth later.